Welcome everybody to Strategy Now here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Here to talk about all of the action that's going on into the midday. We've had about 4 hours of action going on here in the markets. Let's take a look and dive in right now and take a look at what's going on in the futures. Boy, we really have them moving to the upside, which is pretty incredible after we were seeing somewhat of a mixed action yesterday and this morning. Still in the green though. We have the Dow Jones trading at 19,852, up 55. We have the Russell 2000, that higher beta domestically centric index, trading at 1384.20, up $18.30. You have the NASDAQ futures trading at 4932.5, up about $26.50. And then finally, you have the S&P, and I'm going to take a look at the E-mini contract, trading at $2,263.25. They're up $11. It's been a huge move to the upside, a lot of strength. You've also seen some interesting action in the bonds. The actual long end of the curve is up on the day, ever so slightly. You have the 30-year bond up at 150 and 20 ticks. You also have the 10-year down just ever so slightly at 124 and basically a tick and a half. So very interesting action. We have the market doesn't quite know what it wants to do. You have the dollar down 58 cents at 102.61. You have the crude contract getting off of its worst levels in the green, up 89 cents at 53.22, and that's in front of the EIA and API. API, American Petroleum Institute, will be coming out with their report on how the reserves are looking these days, but we're going to keep an eye on that after hours. Now let's take a look at the actual market, see what the volume's telling us, and that's what you really want to look at. And today, we're actually seeing this action to the upside on lower than average volume. On the New York Stock Exchange into the midday, about 309 million shares have traded, with an average of around this time around 350 million. You have the NASDAQ 770 million traded at an average of 792 million. So you got lower than average volume. Not that it's huge, but still that doesn't give you that resonation that there are a lot of people piling into this market. You do have advancers outpacing decliners into the midday, both on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. And you have the new highs outpacing the new lows at a significant ratio. So we're seeing that the market bulls are still clearly in control. What I wanted to look at today in Strategy Now is kind of look at those market capitalization stocks that are large and mid cap. So if you're looking at large cap stocks that are on the move, you're going to be thinking about stocks that have a market capitalization of over 10 billion. The mid caps are those the capitalized stocks around 2 to 10 billion as far as market capitalization. And there's been some interesting moves. Encana Corp, we've talked about this one in the past. Ticker symbol ECA, on the move. This $12.89 stock trading up about 89 cents today, or around 7.96%. Basically, they came out saying that they anticipate production growth from all of its core assets from fourth quarter Q16 to basically through fourth quarter of 2017. Their expectations are that they're going to continue to exceed its previously indicated growth plan of about 15 to 20% year over year. So some pretty interesting growth prospects there on this $12.89 stock. The monthly options that are expiring in 16 days are pricing in a range of 96 cents for this $12 stock. You're talking about a 7% move either up or down that's being priced in, or 8% move being priced into this stock even further than the 8% move we've seen today. So pretty decent range right there in the $12 stock. Blackstone Group. Now, we talked about this a couple weeks ago as we got into the tail end of the year when some of the larger banks and financial institutions were maybe not so much losing favor, but getting some profits taken. Blackstone at the time was trading at $27. We thought it was an interesting candidate where you could see money starting to flow in. Well, guess what? It was added to the Credit Suisse focus list, and the stock is up $1.57 today, trading at $29.61. up about 5.28%. You can actually go back and check the archives to see when we were talking about Blackstone. I believe it was on the closing bell about 2 weeks ago. The options right now for the next 2 days are pricing in a range for this $29 stock of around 68 cents, either up or down. That's for the next 2 days. For the next 16 days, there's a $1.50 range being priced in to this $29 and roughly 61 cent stock. So there's definitely some activity there and a decent sized range, almost an 8% range over the next 16 days for this stock. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Some of the other large cap losers that we've seen today: Valero Energy, ticker symbol VLO, trading at 68.36, down $2.52. That's about a 3.7% pullback. Downgraded today from a hold to a hold from a buy by Deutsche Bank. Now the options are still pricing in the potential over the next 2 days of a $1.60 range. So the $68 stock, it could be as high as almost $70. Or as low as 66 and some change. There's a 16-day range of $3.69. So you're seeing basically on the upside almost 72, to the downside you're seeing it around 65. So there's a decent amount of movement still being priced into this energy stock. The next one that we want to take a look at on the large cap side is going to be IDEX Labs. Ticker symbol IDXX, trading at 115.27, down $1.85 today. That's almost a 2% drag to the downside. Now the shares started trading lower after popping on the open when it was added to the S&P 500. We're going to keep an eye on this, and then over the next 16 days, the options are pricing in the potential for this stock to be either up or down about $4.61. You're looking at basically about a somewhere right around a 4.5% move being priced in as far as a range for this stock for the next 16 days. And now that it's been added into the S&P 500, let's see what the institutions are going to do with it. The mid-cap gainers. Let's take a look at Acadia Pharmaceuticals. Now, you know that we've talked about this one in the past. There has been a lot of M&A headlines that have been going across, merger and acquisition. So we want to take this with a grain of salt. But Acadia is up about 11% today at 31.56. Now, the options are pricing in for the next 2 days that this stock could have a range of $2.30. We've had a pretty significant move right now of almost a little over 3 and some change. So it's already superseding expectations in the options. Let's see if that actually shifts. But for the next 16 days, they're still pricing in the potential of a $4.50 range, either up or down. We could see this stock as high as 35 and some change, or as low as 27, 26 and some change. We're going to keep an eye on Acadia. Weatherford International, been a decent mid-cap gainer today, up about 8.5% or 46 cents. Now, this is a $5.76 stock. Yes, I get it, but it extended its rally today from yesterday another 8%, and it's starting to go towards its long-term resistance, which is that 200-day simple moving average, right around that 587 mark, 595 mark, right in that area. That's going to be a sweet spot where if it gets through there, long-term holders of WFT and anyone that's been buying it at lower levels below where the stock is trading right now, this could be a catalyst for them to stay in if they can hold above that level. The options right now are pricing in for this $5.79 stock over the next 2 days, a 32-cent range, and over the next 16 days, a 68-cent range. So they're still pricing in the potential for this thing to move another anywhere from a couple days for basically right around a 6-7% range for the next 2 days, and another maybe 8 to 9% or 10% move in the next 16 days. Some of the most notable mid-cap losers, well, I just saw a movie there, AMC Entertainment. AMC is the ticker symbol, and went with my kids over the holidays. Seemed to be pretty well attended there over the holiday season. But stocks trading down 70 cents or around 2% at 34.10. Downgraded from to a market perform at FBR and Company, that they lowered their price target on the stock to $35. Now, the options over the next 6 days are pricing in the potential for the stock to be in a range of either up $1.61 or down $1.61. Let's see how this forecast actually plays out. The stock could still be as high as 36 and some change or as low as 32 and some change. So we're going to keep a close eye on AMC. All right, folks, that's it for Strategy Now. Join me at 3:30 Eastern Time where I'm going to talk charts and options prices and give you some transparency on where stocks have traded and where they could potentially be as far as their ranges going forward. All right, folks, we'll see you at 3:30 Eastern Time for Tech Talk. Till then, have a great trading day.